Are you thinking of having an aesthetic plastic surgery procedure? Why not in Colombia? I am Dr. Lina Triana, and maybe you have listened about Colombia being a strong possibility for medical tourism, especially in aesthetic plastic surgery procedures. In this video, I'm going to talk you through about how to have a safe procedure in Colombia. When we talk about patient safety, it's very important to have in consideration 4 patient safety pillars. The first pillar is who's going to perform the plastic surgery procedure. Of course, that is a plastic surgeon that has the knowledge, training, experience, that has a formal education, a degree in plastic surgery validated by the Ministry of Education from Colombia. Also, this plastic surgeon must be signed in all of the regulatory entities, meaning the Secretary of Health from its region. And of course, has to be registered in the RETRUS. RETRUS is the registration system for doctors and specialists in medicine in my country. Tips that can help you see that that doctor has the knowledge, training, experience, and what he's saying he's gonna do. Make sure that that doctor has publications in scientific magazines, of course, books, that he's willing to educate others, that he's well known in the media and between his peers, that he's invited to lecture in other countries, and of course, that his peers feel that he's a good representative for them, that he has been eligible, voted to be in many of the scientific societies, and that she is a spokesperson not only for the media, but for the regulatory entity, for the ministries of health, ministry and secretaries of health, and all of the health system in his country. It is also a very good idea to look for successful cases that the doctor have done. Look for patient testimonials. That will really give you a sense of who this person is. Second pillar is where the surgery will be done. That the surgery center has the regional accreditation for the Secretary of Health. It's like a little star that should be seen and visible for the patients at all time in the surgery center. Also, there are other accreditations in Colombia called Econtech that are regarding quality, and special accreditations only for health. And there's another one that is international accreditations. The surgery center where I perform my procedures is called Corpus and Rostrum. And of course, we have the regional accreditation, we have the Econtech accreditation, we have the specialized health accreditation, national one, and of course the international accreditation with Quad A. And guess what? We think that, for example, maybe many times other countries rather than ours has less requirements. And when the surgery center did the international accreditation, we had all of the requirements that they were asking for. We didn't have to put anything else. We just filed the paperwork. All of the other requirements that they were asking were already there in our regulations. Third pillar will be the patient. That is, in good health for the procedure. So that's important if you're traveling abroad. That, for example, if you can, you have some blood checkups before you travel, and then you send that to us, so that way when you arrive here in Colombia, you are okay for the surgery. We don't want you to fly all the way here, we do the blood test, and we tell you, you know what, you're not a good candidate for the procedure. So it's a good idea, for example, you have a high hemoglobin. Make sure if you take, for example, iron pills, if you're doing a liposuction or any procedure where you have more bleeding. And of course, do some blood tests that we will talk through with you in a virtual appointment. And it is important when you arrive in Colombia that we perform blood tests, a hard EKG exam, and some checkups with the anesthesiologist and the internal medicine doctor to make sure that you have the optimal health to get into the operating room. Fourth pillar. The fourth pillar is the surgical plan. And that is done after the doctor listens to the patient. That's why it is so important that you have a real connection between you and your surgeon, and you and all the staff that will take good care of you during your stay in Colombia. It is important in that surgical plan that we decide, for example, how long the surgery will be. And depending on how long the surgery will be and what type of surgery, the hemoglobin will make a big difference. Also, if we can do a sort of combination of procedures on you, if it's safe, or if not, if we should do only one. and how many days you have to stay after the procedure and how many days you have to arrive before the procedure. For example, if you travel more or less 3 hours, we can have the procedure done between 2 to 3 days after your arrival. But if you travel more than 3 hours, you will have to wait more or less 5 days before we perform the procedure. So plan very well before you book your procedure here. Also book ahead, because for example, I'm a busy person. Sometimes patients travel and they come and they say, I want the procedure done this week. Guess what? Dr. Triana will not be able to do the procedure this week if you have not planned and booked ahead. It's very important also that you have your recovery time. Most of the procedures, the ideal time will be 2 weeks and some 3 weeks or more to stay after the procedure is done. This is very important so that we can guarantee a good development of the follow-ups after the procedure. I will see you before the procedure. Of course, I will perform the procedure and I will be there with you during the follow-ups. If you travel back, we can keep on in contact through WhatsApp and of course, always with a virtual appointment. Performing your procedure in Colombia is not only safe. For example, when I was the president of the Colombian Association of Medical Societies, more than 40,000 specialists, I could see that, for example, a heart surgery can be 80% cheaper in our country than in the US. And if we think about aesthetic plastic surgery procedures, this is also many times the case. Plus, you will also enjoy of my beautiful city, Cali, with a perfect climate, full of trees, one of the best in the world for watching birds. You will have plenty of options for your gastronomical experiences. And of course, you can go to the malls and enjoy being in Colombia and our always hospitality heart. Definitely, Colombia is safe for having your plastic surgery procedure. If you want more information, go ahead and check us at www.drlinatriana.com. There, you can book your virtual appointment with me. And of course, go ahead and look more information in our social media and subscribe to my YouTube channel.